What's going on, guys? Chunky back here on my channel. I know it is late, but I am here with a review for Toy Story 4. Now, when the news broke that Toy Story 4 was going to be a thing, I saw all the trailers, I still held the opinion that Toy Story 4 is in and of its core an unnecessary sequel. I felt that Toy Story 3 had wrapped things up pretty nicely, with Andy passing on his batch of toys to the next generation and highlighting the cycle and the destiny that these toys were to undertake. I think that's a really important story. I think it didn't need much, but now that Toy Story 4 is here and I've seen it, I think this is a very warranted sequel. I think it actually holds a very important place in the now quadrilogy that I didn't really know I wanted to see, but I really did love this film. Now, the brief plot, it is quite similar to the plots and events that happened in the past three films, but I'll explain nonetheless. With Bonnie now owning this batch of toys, she is going into kindergarten. After her orientation day at kindergarten, she creates Forky. Now, when she brings Forky home, he realizes that he's not a toy, he's supposed to be trash. All these toys end up going on a road trip before she starts kindergarten, and Forky gets lost. Woody goes after him. Here we go, enter the mission to get everyone reunited and back home. Now, it sounds pretty simple. Toy Story 2 did it with Buzz. I get that Toy Story 3 sort of did it with the kindergarten scene and the childcare scene. The plot isn't entirely original, but the way it highlights both the emotions of the owners and the emotions of the toys, having them separate but inextricably linked, is just fantastic. And to be honest with you, I don't really want to go more into the plot. I know they've mentioned some controversial moments, especially towards the end. Things did take me by surprise, but I have to say that even though the plot wasn't entirely original, there were a few moments in between which were funny, heartfelt, meaningful, and actually important. Even for someone like me that grew up with the Toy Story franchise, this film still remains incredibly relevant for me at this point in my life, which I really appreciate, keeping that audience in mind as well as appeasing the new generation of Toy Story that may or may not have grown up with those original films. This time around, it's really hard to say that anything's better or worse. Tim Allen and Tom Hanks are still as good as ever. Some really genuine voice performances. I really do believe they choked up at the end of this film because it really shows there is love, care, and it's drenched all over every scene in this film. There are a few hilarious moments. I really like the introduction of, I can't remember his name now. I know it. I definitely know it in my head, and I'll put it down below. It's played by Keanu Reeves. He was hilarious. There are a few scenes, especially in the antique shop. That was a great set piece in and of itself. I have high praise for this film. The only thing I can say that's going against it is the plot isn't necessarily original, but I feel like at this point in time, you can't really do much more with these toys because they're always supposed to be linked with their owners in some way. So it's always going to be some adventure to get back home or find the owner or whatever. I mean, I sort of expected that. In my heart, I wanted more, but I'm okay with the story that I got because the ending really just tied things together so nicely that it felt right. I mean, it was a hard pill to swallow, admittedly, but it felt right. And I praise this film for not only existing in its own right, but actually adding a meaningful installment into what already was a perfect trilogy. That's really all I can say about this film, guys. I know I didn't touch on it too much because the ending took me by surprise personally. I don't want to have that spoiled for you guys either. I did touch on it lightly, but it really is a fantastic film in its own right. I'd give it a must watch. I think that it doesn't matter where you rank it in the Toy Story quadrilogy. Personally, I think it's better than 3, almost better than 1, probably not as good as 2, so 2, 4, 1 and 3, but they're all fantastic. That's the problem. I mean, they're all really must-watch films in their own right. So that's my review for Toy Story 4, guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked the video, leave a like down below. If you have something to say about Toy Story 4 or the franchise in general, comment down below. I would love to hear from you. And most of all, guys, subscribe. And if you want to stay updated with all my future content as it lands, click that bell button down below, guys. Thank you so much for watching. My name's Chunky. Thanks for stopping by my world, and I'll see you soon. Take care.